Okay, so back over to Maya to look at what we have in regards to the character. So our 3D Gen Toolkit folder, we can go to Maya and we just want to look for our mascot low poly, high poly broken out material, which was version 002. So we'll just open that up and take a look at that. See what we have. Okay, so now we have all the high poly. Actually, we can turn wireframe on shaded off. And I'm going to just grab all the high, which we don't really need. So I'm just going to delete all the high versions. So now we just have the belt buckle, the tongue is separate, eyeballs are separate, teeth are separate, our bottom teeth and top teeth, we have our body and our brows. So from this point we can actually just go to the perspective, and I'm just pressing the space bar to bring that just the perspective window, which is all I want right now. So I'm just looking at, this is basically our low poly mesh that we currently have in Maya. Okay, so first things first, I deleted the high poly from there, and I just want to export, well, actually save a new version of this. And so with this, actually I want to name this mascot low poly, and we're going to name this Arnold Matte. You can name this whatever you want. This is basically just my low poly version, and it's also reminding me that I'm going to be using Arnold materials at this point. And I just want to go back and look at my low poly matte and just look and see what I'm actually looking for, which is, it looks like I have just everything in this low poly matte, which is, I might be able to just use this version as well, but since the other one is broken out, I'll just go back to that, to the low poly Arnold matte, and also this one has our UVs laid out correctly as well. So from here, what I want to do is actually, what we want to do is actually just grab all the polygons from the head and up. We're going to assign a new material. So with these polygons selected, so I'm just double tapping on this and double tapping on the eyes. Oops, eyeballs. Actually, we can assign those. Okay, so here we'll just grab all these, the head faces, this one, which is the hair, and from here, I believe that is all we need for the actual body material. And then, so from this point, we're going to assign a new material. So new material, and I'm going to just use an AI standard surface. Okay, which is just a, well, first things first, okay, I want to actually select all my meshes and just clean them up by running a modify freeze transforms and then delete by type history. So there should be no extra nonsense, no extra shape nodes or anything. Everything is clean. Okay, so with that we can go to actually bring up the hypershade. And so, and actually another thing I'm going to do is delete all unused nodes. So there's all we have now is a body, an AI, so it's basically mascot body mat, AI standard surface, and a mascot head mat, which is an AI standard surface. We can get rid of this second one. So since I already have this, I can just select these faces again. And to get to that marking menu, I'm just actually right-clicking and selecting face, and then double-tapping on that face. Okay, and then I'm double-tapping on the hair. And from here, I'm going to assign existing material, and this is my head mat. Okay, and for the eyes, so I'll just hit F8, and now I'm back to just the normal mode, just object mode. So with these eyeballs selected, I will also select and say assign existing material head mat. Okay, so that one's also got the head material, and then the brows as well will have the head material as well. Okay, and also bottom teeth, top teeth, tongue also will have those same materials. So we'll go to the hypershade mode, and with those three selected, we can just go to the head material and say assign material to selection, and I'm just right clicking on that and saying assign material to selection. Okay, alright, so from here we should have, so our brows should be assigned, yep, and we can look at that by going to the attribute editor. And so if we look at our body, we can see that one actually, so the bottom teeth, top teeth all have the mascot head mat, tongue. The buckle is going to have the body material. Okay, so that's basically everything except for the head that's selected. So with this, if we select all these faces here, and this should just give us, this will be just, we also want to grab the back here, right, and that will be assigned to just the body material. Alright, so now that we can set these materials up inside Maya, so if I hit 6, you'll see that that puts us in shaded display mode, which is where we want to be, and I'm hitting F8 to go to object mode. That's also right here. So if you go to component or object mode, that's also here in the menu. So currently I'm now under just object mode, and so now I can just go to my shader, to my hypershade, and this is where I can actually do the shader work. And so from this, I just want to make this window as big as possible. Okay, so this is going to be, so we'll work on the body first. And so once you select that material and hit this one single arrow, input connections. That'll actually just show us the mascot body material. Okay, which is the, and then also in your property editor, you can actually see to the right as well. So weight is 100% color, and this is we want this to be all the way up. Okay, so for the base color, if you hit so there's a few different ways how to assign textures or make shaders. I'll show this one way where you can use the node editor, and then I'll also show how to actually just go through the color as well. Going through the node editor makes it a little easier to mix modes. So if, say, I want to blend, I'm going to use a blend node, which is going to kind of take the AO and the color map and blend them together, and then I'll put them into the base color, and you'll see how that works. But if you were going to just throw the color map, so I'll do it this way, and then I'll actually show the node editor way as well. So if you just click on this little checker right here, it'll come up to a create render node, and you just say select file. Okay, and so then that brings us up to this file, and then you can go to image name and select the folder. And this folder is going to be wherever you exported out from Substance, or from wherever you're going to do your textures. Okay, so we'll go to Substance, Textures, and then my clean maps, and then I will use body, and then color is my main map. Okay, so if I select that and body map, and I want to use the sRGB color space, which is fine. So if we collapse or minimize, you can see that we can see what our texture is looking like, basically our base color. Okay, so if you hit 7, that'll show kind of our lights, which we currently don't have any. So if I hit 6 again, you'll just get basically just kind of just a base. It's just showing the regular shader currently, and so you can see like what we actually painted in Substance. Okay, so alright, so it looks like I'm going to have to fix the belt buckle, which is fine. That's an easy fix. And I'll probably just go into the actual texture and just paint that in. Okay, so we'll go back to the hypershade, and I'll show you if we want to add. So if you select those two, you can actually just select them in the node editor, okay, and just hit delete. And then that basically just sends it back to, there's no color on the object. So it just basically goes back to gray. So from here, if you tap in the window here and hit the tab button, you'll get this little box that comes up, and you can say file, okay, and then file texture, and that will basically give you the same exact thing that we did the other way. So here you can actually go here and select the color map, okay, and so right here what we want to do is also we want to hit tab again, and we're going to say file and then texture, and then for this one we want to bring in our ambient occlusion map that we exported out from Substance. So from the body mat AO, so we'll select that. So that comes in, and I want to change the color space to raw. Okay, I believe that this we can try and use sRGB, which I think it just darkens it a little bit more, and you can change the color balance or all that if so. So So with that, and then there is a node called AI multiply. So if we hit the tab button and we say AI multiply, okay? And so what all this does is take two maps that we have here. So we'll take, and all we're going to do is take the out color and put it into input 1 and take the out color of the AO and we're just dragging to input 2. So now this AI multiply node is being multiplied between the color map and the AO map. So now all we have to drag this to is our base color. Okay, so now we should have AO included into the map, which you can see currently in the map. So we have all of our AO kind of baked in to the texture. Okay, and then so to bring in our normal map, if we go back to our hypershade, we can actually do the same thing. And for our normal map, in an AI standard shader, it's located under the geometry. And so if you want to go through the attribute editor, you can just select bump mapping and then go file, and then this you want to just change to tangent space normals, and then you go to the bump depth and actually change the bump depth, or not there, actually no. You want to just select that bump value and just go to the normal, and then that should bring in the normal. And I think that this one you want to have raw, and also you want to select the bump 2D node. Let's see, I want to change the, yes. So there's a look dev mode and a, the look dev mode is kind of broken down, you don't see a lot. So to get to, say, the Arnold features, actually you want to be to the bump 3D, the bump 2D node, and then if you go to Arnold and turn, I believe you need to turn off the flip R and G, and then that normal should look correct, which it looks like it's coming in correctly. So with our AO, everything. So one way to also test this is if we throw in a sky dome light, and we should be able to, you can kind of see this a little. So I just hit 7. So going to 6, it basically just goes back to shaded mode, and then if I hit 7, that actually shows my lighting situation. So with the lighting currently, if I go to Arnold and open Arnold render view, and then go to, so this is basically just my Arnold renderer, and so from here I can actually just do a, if I turn on, hit play right here, this should actually just show what my map is looking like, and right now it looks to me like it's very, very shiny. Okay, so what I want to do is actually, so we can leave that up and running, and then all we have to do is go back to our hyper shade, okay, and then just go back to our body material, and I think our specular is just crazy. Okay, so you can actually just turn that down completely, or even, since we don't have a roughness map built, we can probably set this to like 0.15, And if we go back, you can see it just kind of softens that it's not as shiny anymore. So now all we're seeing is just, right, seeing the texture map, how we're looking at it right here. Okay, so the shininess. So, and then to stop that render, you just hit stop, and then you can close it down. So from this point, I'm currently in, yeah, so I have my light turned on, and I'm currently just using that sky dome light. It's nothing nothing super special going on lighting wise. So from here, I'll go back to the hypershade again. Okay, and then from here, if I was going to, same thing, if I did a bump 2D node, so like if you go to the tab and say bump 2D, so see, this is the same thing as this node. This is just another file node, file texture. So if I hit file texture and select that, basically it gives me a place 2D node and a file texture node, and this doesn't need to be in here. Okay, so all I would do is just plug in the normal, like so. So just as normal, and then I would say out alpha to bump value. Okay, so at this stage I want to change this to tangent space normals and flip, and also change this to raw, and I believe, let's see, yeah, this is where I can actually, if I break this, and just bring this back in. So looks like the normals are yeah, I think it's sometimes it's easier to I've noticed that like going this way with normals just doesn't seem to work the right way that you're looking for. So with this normal, going down to geometry under bump mapping and going to going this way with the normal, and just making sure that this color space is set to raw. Okay, and then here we should be able to see that properly. So with that in mind, now that we have that, we just want to create our head material. And so we'll basically do this once more. Okay, so we're going to select the head material and then hit the single input connection. So now all we see is this, and we'll just do these two quickly, the file textures. So file texture, and I'll just bring this over here, and I'll create another file texture. And again, I'm just hitting tab, and then I'm also going to say AI multiply, and this is just going to be our mixing AI multiply node. And for the normal camera, we'll go through the actual, so from here we can actually go to our image, and so for the head we're going to grab the color map and just say open, and for the AO, just go here, select the head AO and say open, and then we'll go out color here, out color here, and just blend between the two, and then we'll shoot this over to base color. Then we can select that head material, go down to bump mapping, say file, and we'll flip these, go to tangent space normals, select the arrow, go to the image name and head normal. And so we'll get that normal map coming in. And we'll also go to this, the main material node, and also turn this down to like 0.15, maybe 0.2, just so we get the shininess to come down. You can also turn the color down too a little bit, just so it's not super hot. Getting that weird shininess going on. So from here, we should be able to see. So actually, if I turn that down, I can actually just turn the spec like completely off if you want to. So from here, if we go to Arnold Render View Now, should be able to, so this is kind of what we're seeing in Arnold right now. So it looks to me like we want to fix the belt buckle, and also the eyes and the eyebrows. Look like those need some love, so we can stop. Alright, so from here, we just want to, so I'm going to go back to just regular looking. Alright, so for belt buckle, I just want to go to, I think I have the UVs set here, so